Hey there, I just wanted to show you an example of descriptive statistics using app.minitab.com online. So let's look at this example. It's the data for daily high temperatures in Atlanta for 1 month, and I went ahead and opened up my Minitab. I named it Atlanta High Temps, and then I went ahead and put in the 30 temperatures. Okay, so I would always double check if I were you. These happen to be in order, but if they're not, you would need to. It's really not necessary to order them because Minitab will calculate everything without it being ordered. And if you were doing it by hand, you would have to order them. So that's one good thing about using Minitab. Okay, so I have all these in, like I said, and this is my example. So let's talk about each of these. What is the range of the temperatures? So on it asks, does it have outliers? What's the sample variance? How many days? What's the first quartile, the third quartile, and so forth. So I know that this problem is asking me for the descriptive statistics of the Atlanta high temperatures. In other words, all the statistics that describe these temperatures. So you're going to go to Stat, Basic Stats, Display Descriptive Statistics. I only have one variable column, so I can just double click on that and it will pop it in there for me. And then you need to choose statistics and choose everything we're going to need. We don't need SEF mean, we need variance, we need interquartile range and mode. So just everything but these two in that first section, the whole second section, and just the minimum, the maximum, and the range we might need. It can't hurt you to click all of these and then just pick off the ones you need. So I'm going to click OK. It's going to do the descriptive statistics on that column, which is the Atlanta high temperatures, and click OK, OK, and here you go. So this gives us all those descriptive statistics. So let's talk about those. It says, what is the range of the temperatures? The range of the temperatures is going to be the highest one minus the lowest temperature, but we don't have to do that because Minitab shows that the range is 33, so you would go here and choose number 8. Does the data set contain outliers? We'll come back to that one in a minute. What is the sample variance? In other words, what is the variance of this sample of all these temperatures? So the variance is 46.49, so I would choose 10. What is the median? Okay, so go here, and this is the median, is 71.5. So here it is. How many days are in the sample? That is the number of days, so that is N, which is 30. N asterisk is if there was an error somewhere along here to put it in. It would say like 1 if there was an error in one of these spaces, but so that's just what N asterisk is. Typically you don't need to pay attention to it. What is the first quartile of the data set? Okay, so we go over here and we look at quartile 1. Quartile 1 is 66, and that means 25% of all the data is at or below the temperature of 66. What is the third quartile? The third quartile is 76, so we would choose 76 for our answer, and that means that 75% of the data lies at or below the temperature of 76. Okay, and here is the 76, so you'd put in the number 24. Okay, what is the lowest daily temperature for 1 month? And the lowest number here is 61, so you would choose 61. What daily temperature in Atlanta for 1 month are considered outliers? Again, we'll come back to the outlier question. And what is the highest daily temperature? And that's the highest daily temperature was the largest number, which was 94 degrees. Okay, what is the interquartile range? So if you'll come here, interquartile range is 10. The interquartile range is found by taking quartile 3 minus quartile 1. 76 minus 66 is 10. So that kind of gives you an idea of where the interquartile range is, kind of the whole middle spot. What is the mean daily temperature for that month? So the mean or the average temperature is 71.83. So you would choose number 20. What is the sample standard deviation? So what this number tells us for this sample of temperatures is how do they deviate from the mean, or how spread out they are. and that number is 6.82. Okay, so I told you we would go back and talk about outliers. So let me show you how you find an outlier. An outlier is going to be something that's way lower than 61 degrees or way higher than all of your temperatures. The way you find that is it's going to be 61 minus 1.5 times our interquartile range. Okay, and our interquartile range was 10. So that is 61 minus 15, I believe there. So 61 minus 1.5 times the interquartile range. So that number is 46. So if there are any numbers lower than 46 or less, we would call that an outlier because it lies way outside the rest of our temperatures. Okay, I'm sorry, that is supposed to be quartile 1. Okay, so quartile 1 minus 1.5 times our interquartile range. So quartile 1 minus 1.5 times 10. So that is 51. Apologize for that. So any number, any temperature, if there was a temperature in this chart lower than 51, then it would lie outside of basically what you could say the normal temperatures are, and we would call that an outlier. So that would be the lower outlier. There's also an upper outlier, and that is going to be quartile 3. So 76 plus 1.5 times 10. So you take quartile 3 plus 1.5 times the interquartile range. I'll put those down here for you. So that was quartile 1. You want to see if anything is 1.5 times below the IQR. And for the upper one, it's going to be quartile 3, and it's upper to see if it's more than 1.5 times the interquartile range. Let's see what that ends up being here. So 76 plus 1.5. So 76 plus 1.5 times 10 gives us 91. Okay, and there are none greater than, there's a 94. Oh, there is one greater than 91. So this would be considered an outlier because it is greater than what we found here, which was our interquartile range, the higher end. If we multiply that out, you find anything 91 and greater is an outlier. So 94 is an outlier here. So let's go back to those two questions. Does it contain any? The answer is yes. So we will put number 30 in the blank. And then the question, the other one dealing with that was the other one, I think, was which of these is an outlier, and then our answer would be the number 94. So I hope that helps you with your descriptive statistics.